Yeah, I mean, I think for us, there's just things that we've been working on early in the season, and I think we executed them fairly well against Illinois State, but we want to continue to build on that and keep going as we go through the season. So they did a nice job with that. I think competing is fun. It's there's a little bit of monotony at times with some of the training pieces, and so getting into an environment that you got some people in the stands and racing another team is always good to just break up a long season. Yeah.
One of the things Josh talked about, and it's true with many early season meets, is you start to experiment a little bit. You start to see who can do what and where people start fitting into the bigger puzzle. What were some of the things that you, as a staff, are looking for tonight with this meet?
I mean, I think the first thing is honestly just swimming third events that we'll get in championship format, and so we don't have a 3-day meet until we get to our mid-season in December, and so in a dual meet setting, you're not going to have as many opportunities to see some of those events that you will still have to swim in championship format. But so for us, we check those boxes off with most of our athletes here. And honestly, like it's a gauge for where they're at, but we want to just keep building on that as we go. So outside of that, I think there's some things with like just pushing relay starts a little bit more and seeing what kind of times we can put up early in the season, using those as a checkpoint for where we're starting, but where we want to continue to go and how far we have to go to get to some of those end goals. So.
One of the things that you saw with the Sycamores last year is that freshman class was huge, and they played a huge role in some of the success of the team. We're starting to see some of those freshmen starting to stand out again this year as well. We're going to talk with Sahara in a little bit, but just talk about what she's done and how she's been with the program so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's someone that, honestly, like some of those small pieces around swimming, she's been lights out on. Where she's someone that is going to really prioritize swimming, and there's access of just coming in every day before practice and taking care of what she needs to from like a shoulder prehab standpoint, consistently going to bed early, getting done with her schoolwork ahead of time, so it's not taking away from what she wants to do here. She's also someone that has some pretty big goals on this side, and so it's just nice when frequently like you get freshmen that come in the door and they're willing to work really hard right away, but figuring out some of those outside pieces around the sport can take a little bit more time, and Sahara has been super on top of those from day one, and so that's pretty exciting to not have to worry about those things and have to have some of those conversations, and it just makes the training side a little bit easier for me as a coach.
Shorter turnaround time going into next week, I believe it's Vanderbilt in Illinois,
yes.
If I remember right, so very short turnaround time. You're not having a 2-week break, it's just 1 week you guys are back at it. What do you have to continue to do to get ready for that next meet?
I mean, I think for us, honestly, there's not a lot of things we're doing in training to deviate necessarily to prepare that much more for competitions. I think we set up our season plan and competitions factor into our training week. But we're not going to like drastically adjust too much in training. It's a lot of continuing to do some of the same things we have been doing, and just getting back into work Monday morning. I mean, tomorrow we'll work through a little bit more of an aerobic session across the board for our team. Not put too much intensity on that, but I think our group is pretty good about just with dual meets. You have to be able to I think celebrate the things you're doing well, but then put your head down and get right back to work after that. So.
All right.